but won't be getting anywhere near half the support that Lorenzo Zanon, the challenger, is getting. The local Italian then, who has been to America, tried his luck and came off very second best out there. Beaten by Larry Holmes in a championship fight, beaten by Ken Norton, and now tried to join the shaven-haired fighter brigade. But you can't just look like one, you've got to fight like a tough fighter, and Zanon hasn't proved that yet, but Gardner's been out of the ring since last April, had a few share of troubles, and this is the first time he's ever fought outside London in his 33 fights, but he's lost only 2. The judges from Belgium and West Germany, the referee Franz Marti from Switzerland, and I'm sure that Gardner's second, Terry Lawless, might be a bit concerned about that, because if it comes to points, on Marti he shouldn't rely, because he was the fellow who gave it against Charlie Magri when Magri beat the Italian Franco Udella for the flyweight championship, and we all thought it won easily. So the usual opening round by John L. Gardner, who takes time to warm up, usually takes his share of punches, doesn't pretend to baffle his opponents with science, just simply gets stuck in. Zanon fond of cuffing around the ear with that right hand at the end of the first. They are chanting Lorenzo, Lorenzo, and there's a reunion there between manager Terry Lawless, who's stepped in here for Mickey Duff and George Francis, who are in America. And of course Lawless used to manage Gardner, but they parted amicably, but he agreed to come back and help him with this one. And Joe Devitt is now his trainer. So into round 4. And in the second and third, Gardner, in the similar fashion, just piled in, taking a few punches as he went in, and Lorenzo stealing them a bit. And even Gardner's corner now consider that he's a little bit behind, and he's really got to move inside those long punches from Zanon. And both remarkably coming in at the same weight, 14 stone, 10 pounds. Certainly Gardner can't afford to do that there, leaning in towards Zanon's right-hand punch. He throws it almost with the tip of the glove, the Italian. But now and again he gets some success with it. But when Gardner turns his punches in, those hooks, he looks as though he's hitting harder. Well, it might be swing and a prayer stuff from Gardner, but sometimes it works. Zanon obviously feeling if he's taken the punches of Larry Holmes and Ken Norton, this fellow can't hurt him too much. But he still can't afford to hold that head up, rather like a weather vane stuck up there. He can catch hooks coming his way. Gardner may be a bit short on skill, but nobody's ever questioned his bravery and his willingness to fight. It's never easy to win away from home. The ring always the loneliest place in the world, but it's surprising how the crowd can encourage the local man. Closer to Zanon. He's been kept at range a bit in those opening rounds, but he's just beginning to get inside the long punches. But still, I think, got a bit to make up. fourth. Lawless has always said that whatever deficiencies John L may have, he always listens and tries his hardest. It's one of the few boxers he's had who goes out and does exactly as he's told. He looks fairly unruffled there, Zanon. Hasn't shown any power of punch. Trying to win on points, it would seem to me. So into round 5. Scheduled for 12 rounds, the European Championship. Originally 15 rounds, but it's brought back to the 12 rounds limit now in the last year. But there's one thing for sure, Gardner must really get stuck in because he doesn't have much hope of winning on points. Unexpectedly favours, and he isn't really landing enough punches to be eye-catching for the judges. Italian now, just moving that head about a bit. They're calling for that in the corner. Both Lawless and Devitt are saying move the head and duck in, and he's listening and he's doing it. And he jabs his way in well too, Gardner. He doesn't have the longest left-hand punch, but he jabs his way in well. Going right back to the days when he boxed in the Polytechnic Club, I watched him. Starting to try Zanon's chin for size now with that overhand right. Better round now for the reigning European champion. Now Zanon wondering whether he's back in there with Larry Holmes and Norton again because the punches are hard enough. Replies now from Zanon. Gardner can soak this up and come back, and he's done it again with the right hand. He's hurt it, and he's done it, and he's down. The right hand punch did it. The left hook then came behind the ear, and he fell that way, and surely there's no way he can beat this count. And he can't complain that he hasn't heard it. And yes, that's the finish, the count out in the 5th. And really pulling the fight right out of the fire. And Lawless keeping Gardner off there. He's taking it very calm. And his ex-manager looking very pleased. And in replay now, there's the right hand and the follow-up punch, which surely it must have been the right hand that did it. And it really did. Fell him like a tree there. And the doctor in the ring, moving the mouth to make sure that he hasn't broken the jaw before he asks him to try and get up. And he has. There's a full recovery now by Zanon. You can't ask for a friendlier finish than that.